Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Well, Mr. Dmitry Medvedev, the former Prime Minister and President of the Russian Federation, makes some strange claims. I have two articles, one from the Ukrainians, which is more panicking, and the other one comes from the Russians on the same subject. I do not speak Russian or Ukrainian. Therefore, I do not know if the translations are accurate or translation from Russian into English. Therefore, I'm not certain of the exact translation. Nevertheless, let's discuss the statements. I'm going to start with the Ukrainian statement first. From the Ukrainian news media outlet. Ukrainska Pravda. Deputy head of Russia's Security Council threatens to capture more Ukrainian territories. This guy. And they have this picture like he's taking a shit or something. Oh man, these guys are clowns. So, Dmitry Medvedev has said that Russia intends to capture more Ukrainian territories. All right, so let's see the quote. This is the translation, obviously. The special military operations, and they say the Russia's euphemism for the war against Ukraine, will continue until Kiev's Nazi regime is annihilated and historically Russian territories are liberated from the enemy. The victory will be ours. More territories will become part of Russia. End quote. So he said that they will continue until the regime is done, and historically, Russian territories are liberated from the enemy. The victory will be ours. More new territories will become part of Russia. Oh. All right, let's go to, it says here, previously on August 6th, Russian presidential spokesman Dmitry Peskov said that Russia does not want more Ukrainian territory. The 4 oblasts and Crimea that were illegally included in the Russian constitutions are enough. Yes, but there is a little problem. I will show you on the map the little problem. Now let's go to the Russian article coming from Russia Today, and is from the same day, the 30th of September 2023. Russia will, quote-unquote, liberate more Ukrainian regions. Ex-president. The military operation in Ukraine will continue until, quote-unquote, historic Russian territories are freed. Dmitry Medvedev has threatened. Now let's see this guy's translation. And I'm quoting. This choice becomes a symbol not only of the restoration of historical justice, but also of the unity of the Russian people, their colossal will and dedication. Now, says here that instead that Moscow military operation will continue until the current regime in Kiev is, and I'm quoting, destroyed and the historic Russian territories are liberated from the enemy, end quote. And I'm quoting again, victory will be ours and there will be more new regions within Russia. The former president wrote. All right. Well, it says here that they voted, they did this, they did that. Now, let's discuss on the map. Let me show you the map. The map comes from Sputnik. Sputnik shows us the map. All right, here it is. Correct? Correct. So we have Ukraine, we have these parts here. I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. These parts right here, you see, they are taken over a Red Rover. Now, when Russia said vote and blah blah blah, become our come back, return, liberate, whatever, they were talking about the entire oblast. I'm not trying to justify Medvedev. Medvedev can say whatever he wants. If he wants to say that we're going to take over the United States of America, he said that, so screw him. I don't care. Good luck. All right, that's his choice of words. Now we have here, see Zaporozhye? Zaporozhye, why do you think we have these little things here? What do you think that represents? Those are parts of the oblasts that are not taken by the Russians. So they voted, yes, we're going to take it, we're going to have it, and we incorporate it. When they incorporated this territory, this oblast, they thought this is what they incorporated. The whole thing right here. Not stopped at the Dnieper River right here. That's because that's all that they could take so far. They are going to take all this. And they intend to take all this. And they intend to take all this, which is part of Luhansk, Donetsk, whatever. And you have here Kharkiv. I don't know what they're doing in Kharkiv, if they want that too or not. I'm not sure about that one. They definitely invaded here and then they pulled back, I think, last year in October, November. So that means they won Kharkiv too. So the oblast goes this way. Now I don't know exactly what the Russian maps show, and if they show here or they show to here, or they show to here, obviously not more than that because that's Poland's. Alright, but nevertheless, I don't know if he referred, because I can't get into Medvedev's head, if he thought about these things that they need to take, and they said they will. And they said, and on top of this, if you remember, the Russians said, if Ukraine receives longer range missile systems, they will, let's say they got 50 miles. Right now it's 300 miles. That means they said that from here, where they're going to get, let's say they reach here. Let's give this as an example here in Kherson. Let's say this is right here is going to be the border. Now, if this is the border, let's say the Russians cross the Dnieper River and get to Kherson, even though I think it's going to get over Odessa as well, but it's a different story. Let's say they end up here. Now, if the Ukrainians have 300 kilometer, or let's say Taurus, the 500 kilometers, the German missile, in their possession, the Russians said, we will have to push them back, the Ukrainians, 500 kilometers. Have a buffer zone, there's 500 kilometers from our border westward, and the border will be right here. Let's say this is 500 kilometers. I'm just, I don't know how much is it. Let's say it's half. Let's say it's right here. If they have 500, it's going to be here. If they have 300, it's going to be here. If they have 600, it's going to be here, the border. Why? Because they say the Ukrainians should not be able to hit the Russian territories. Let's say it's going to be right here. So if the Russian territory is going to be right here and 500 kilometers missile systems the Ukrainians will have, they will go 500 miles right here. And this is going to be Ukrainian territory with Ukrainians that will be destroyed, or they will be in between as a buffer zone. Now, as I said, I don't have the translation, I don't have the context as exactly what he means. Usually say this, excuse me, can you tell us more about that particular issue? What do you mean by that? And I would go to the Ukrainian translation here. What do you mean more new territories will become part of Russia? Do you mean what you have right now, or you intend more? Can you specify, give me some details? That's how you do. So, I don't know, and I wouldn't be surprised if Medvedev will give a crazy answer like, well, our historical territories go to, I don't know, to Paris. I don't think so, but anyway. He's going to say, well, like, if you look at the map, I'm going to bring you a map. If you look at the map right here, it says that we were having okay. All right. So I don't know. Either way, Medvedev is, I think, he's activated. He was activated to talk shit. He's the guy who talks the most shit. And supposedly he was the, how should I put it, considered to be from the leadership of the Russian Federation, the most Western-leaning guy. Now, I don't know if he's activated by the West or he's activated by his country. We're gonna find out later, because sometimes when someone is playing a double role, he's gonna be the harshest, the most vocal guy, and actually he's on that side. But he wants to cover his trail. We'll find out. Thank you very much, because sometime he's gonna have to show up and say, hey, excuse me, I'm taking that uniform. Bye-bye, see you never. Or the guy's going to grab and say, Medvedev, we gotcha. But if they didn't get him so far, they will not get him from here. I mean, he was vetted in his ass as well. So I don't think the Russians or Putin doesn't have all the information about Medvedev, and vice versa. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.